On the wedding day, Gubi Aishu didn't even enter the bridal chamber. He only sent someone to deliver a single sentence, "You're not even worth a strand of King Er's hair." I sat beneath the candlelight holding that note, spending the entire night alone. Just when I thought things couldn't get more humiliating, he came the next morning to pay his respects. I stood in the corridor with my eyes lowered. Offering a polite greeting, he looked down at me from his superior height and his nose started bleeding. Kubiaishu fumbled for a handkerchief to wipe his face, then snarled in embarrassment, "Don't overthink it. I bled because you're so ugly it hurts my eyes." I stared at him for a moment, then said softly, "But that's my handkerchief." He froze. The next second, he tried to pull something else from his chest to cover his embarrassment. But in his panic, he ended up pulling out one of my undergarments, my sachet, and even one of my socks. Didn't he say I wasn't worth a strand of King Er's hair? Then why was he carrying so many of my things in his robes? On the day of the return banquet, my mother-in-law specially hosted a family feast. During the meal, she took my hand and earnestly instructed me to go fetch my husband home, adding that it would be best if we could settle the matter of having an heir. The Duke's mansion could not be left without a successor, and Gubiaiju's stance of preserving his purity for Qiuinger had clearly become untenable in her eyes as well. I steeled myself and went to the front courtyard. Before I even got close, I heard Gubiaiju laughing and talking with his friends. "Go, I heard you haven't seen your new bride even once since the wedding. You keep her alone night after night, don't you think that's a bit cruel?" Gubiaiju gave an impatient snort. "You know I've been searching for Qiuinger. I intend to remain pure for her. What, you think I touch another woman? True enough. And besides, I've seen your new wife. She's average at best. Clean features, but hardly a great beauty. Nothing compared to the belles of the capital. If His Majesty hadn't arranged this match, just to keep you in check by giving you some low-ranking girl from a minor family." Hubiaishu didn't deny it. "That's only natural." I stood beneath the covered walkway, feeling as if a bucket of ice water had been poured over my head. So his feelings for Qiuinger were real. And in his eyes, I was truly nothing at all. I turned to leave, but my foot accidentally kicked over a wine jar. The shattering sound made everyone in the courtyard turn their heads in unison. "Well, speak of the devil. Gu, your wife is here." Now that I'd been spotted, running away would only make me look guilty. So I forced myself to walk into the courtyard and curtsy to Gubiaiju. "Husband." He shot up from his seat and stalked toward me with murderous intent. "How dare you? Didn't I say we'd each go our own way? You actually came looking for me?" "What? Do you really think our eyes met?" His voice died in his throat. I saw his pupils contract sharply, his fierce gaze seemed to freeze in place, his whole body going rigid. "Why are you bleeding again?" I instinctively pulled out my handkerchief and offered it to him. Gubiaiju grabbed my wrist, his knuckles white. Startled, I thought he was about to hit me, so I said quickly, "If you're unwilling to come home, that's fine. I'll explain it to Mother." I pulled my hand free and fled without looking back. Behind me came his friends, teasing Gu. "You just froze. And you got a nosebleed looking at her? She seduced me. That's what happened." Kubi Aishu's voice was angry and flustered. "Didn't you see her batting her eyelashes at me? And she wore my favorite jasmine scento. She's crafty. That one. I've known you for over a decade and never knew you had a favorite scent. TCH. I think you've been acting strange ever since you saw her." "Strange? Her?" Kubi Aishu's voice rose sharply. "What's so great about her? She just has big eyes, a slender waist, fair skin, a pleasant voice, nothing to like." I walked farther and farther away, his words fading into the distance. That night, Gubiaiju unexpectedly came to my room. I just finished bathing and was still drying my hair when I saw him sitting casually on the edge of the couch, his shirt half open, revealing a solid chest. "Mother said you were looking for me. You have something to say?" he started. I nodded and decided to be direct. Mother says the Duke's mansion can't lack an heir. She thinks we should have a child soon. Gu Biaiju laughed coldly. You think you just ask and I'll comply? Do I look that easy? I came prepared. I turned to fetch the little booklet my mother-in-law had given me. I know you have someone else in your heart, husband. I wouldn't dare presume. Mother pointed out a way that might work for both of us. I turned back eagerly and nearly collided with a wall of flesh. Gu Biaiju had somehow already taken off his shirt, revealing a body of solid, well-defined muscle. 2 droplets of water still glistened on his chest, trickling down the grooves of his abdomen and disappearing beneath his loose-fitting trousers. I swallowed hard and watched helplessly as he snatched the booklet from my hands. Quite prepared, aren't you? His face grew redder as he spoke. But when he opened the booklet, his expression darkened instantly. Inside were portraits of young, talented men from the Gu family side branches. Who are these men? His voice was cold enough to freeze ice. I answered honestly, promising young men from the Gu family side branches. This way, the Duke's mansion can have an heir, and you don't have to break your vow of purity for miscuing her. Mother said if I bear a child, I'll get 10,000 tiles of gold double if it's a boy. The more I talked, the more excited I became, and my excitement showed on my face. With that money, my younger sister wouldn't have to go hungry or cold anymore, and my younger brother wouldn't have to suffer in the military camp. Gu Biaiju paced back and forth, nodding repeatedly. Good, good, good. Husband, do you think it's a good idea too? Then pick one. The next second, Gu Biaiju ripped the booklet to shreds, grabbed me, and pinned me against the wall. Oh, Lindsay Hiu, have you forgotten that I'm a normal man? If I want a child, I'll father it myself. I was stunned into silence by his roar. After a long moment, I gathered myself and nodded solemnly. I understand. Then I wrapped myself tightly in a cloak, picked up my blanket, and went to sleep in the side room. I left him standing there alone, his face cracking with disbelief. The next day, a banquet was held at the Prime Minister's residence. I applied a thick layer of powder to my face just to cover the dark circles under my eyes. As I came out of the side room, I happened to brush past Gu Biaiju. He muttered under his breath, "Why are you dressing up so nicely? Afraid people won't realize how breathtaking you are." I smoothed my hair, wondering if he was talking about me, but not wanting to flatter myself, I merely mumbled a greeting and left. I didn't know that his gaze followed me for a long time afterward. In the garden of the Prime Minister's residence, I was standing by the lake watching the KO when someone suddenly shoved me from behind. Plunk. I tumbled into the water. Just what you'd expect from someone from a minor family. Resorting to cheap tricks, Su Jinyu's mocking voice rang out from the shore, showing off that brothel girl act in public. Who do you think you're seducing? He crawled out of the lake, soaked through, shivering with cold. Miss Su, shouldn't you explain why you tripped me just now? Su Jinyu rolled her eyes. Don't slander me. You stumbled on your own. Have any proof? Did any of you see anything? The crowd around us averted their eyes. No one dared speak up for me. Of course not. She was the Prime Minister's daughter. Who would cross her for my sake? I just wanted to leave. But Su Jinyu wouldn't let me go. She ordered her maids to stop me and reached out to tear my clothes. In broad daylight, what nonsense are you spouting? With a roar, a tall figure charged through the crowd and kicked Su Jinyu straight into the lake. Gu Biaiju pointed at Su Jinyu floundering in the water and kept cursing. She's not the heir's wife, are you? You ugly creature, since you like showing off so much. You can show off standing right there in the lake. Guards throw in everyone who so much as touched her or opened their mouth to slander her. No one comes out without my permission. Amid the chaos of shrieks and splashes, Gu Biaiju wrapped his cloak around me, unscooped me up in his arms, striding toward the gate. Are you stupid? Letting everyone walk all over you? And those maids of yours are useless. I'll give you some of my shadow guards. Next time someone bullies you, beat them to death immediately. I watched the veins bulge on his forehead in anger, and a strange feeling rose in my chest. Husband, did you come here specifically to find me? Gu Biaju's expression faltered. Of course not. I was just passing by. I said nothing more, only studied his tense profile in thoughtful silence. After returning home, one of Gu Biaju's friends came over for a drink and casually asked, word on the street is you went on a rampage for your lady, that you're quite taken with your new wife. Is it true? Gu Biaju kept a straight face and shook his head. Nonsense. I helped her only to protect the Duke's reputation. His friend sighed with relief and clapped him on the shoulder. Good. Then you won't mind the Emperor wants to send two people to see Hazu on a case. I recommended you. Gu Biaju's head shot up. See? You're happy. No need to thank me, brother. When he came home that day, Gu Biaju looked like a wilted eggplant. The Emperor is sending me to see Hazu on official business. Might take half a month, he said dejectedly. My eyes lit up. Really? His expression turned dangerous. You seem happy about it. I shook my head reflexively. No, not at all. He trudged into the bathroom like all his strength had been drained. When he came out half a stick of incense later, I pointed at the 3 neatly packed chests in the corner of the room. Husband, I've packed everything for your trip. When do we leave? In an instant, Gu Biaju's face went black as charcoal. Lindsay Hiu, you're not even pretending anymore? Packing this fast, are you that eager to see me go? So, you can run off with some pretty boy the moment I'm gone? I'm telling you, dream on. I'm not going. Curious? He wrenched open a chest and rummaged inside, pulling out a rose reed undergarment. He froze. I bit my lip and looked up at him expectantly. Husband, are you saying you don't want to take me with you? Gu Biaju hastily shoved the undergarment back into the chest, locked it, and turned to scold me. Can't you make up your mind for once? 1 minute you're going, the next you're not. Get ready and go to sleep. We leave at dawn tomorrow. The trip came together so suddenly that I hadn't had time to prepare anything for my younger brother in the military camp. So, on the road, I worked day and night to sew him a set of clothes, along with a sachet embroidered with the character for younger brother. Just before we reached our destination, I took a nap, and when I woke up, the clothes and sachet were gone. I was about to go look for them when Gu Biaju walked in wearing the clothes. The sleeves were too short. The chest stretched taut across his muscles. It looked painfully tight. How did you know my birthday is coming? You even prepared a gift for me. I looked at the clothes about to burst across his pectorals and wiped my cold sweat. It doesn't fit you. Why don't you take it off and let me alter it? Gu Biaju's face was a little red from the tightness, but he shifted his shoulders uncomfortably and said, No need. It's just right. When we stepped outside, everyone stared at him. Gu, that outfit you're wearing, you think it looks good too? Well, Lindsay Hiu insisted on making it for me. She wouldn't take no for an answer, and that's a shade at your waist. Gu Biaju tried hard to keep his mouth from curving into a smile, but the mirth still leaked from the corners of his eyes. She made that too. I've said all along she's resourceful. She insisted on coming with me and spares no effort to please me. Why do you think she likes me so much? Before he finished speaking, a figure shot out like an arrow released from a bow. Little brother, sister, as the siblings embraced tightly, Gu Biaju's friend finally burst out laughing. Gu, I was trying to tell you earlier the character embroidered on your sachet. In the local dialect it means little brother. And that outfit, it looks like it would fit her brother much better than you. Don't you think? Gu Biaju's smile froze on his face. That night, I talked for a long time with my little brother, then went back and fell into a deep sleep. In the middle of the night, I felt cold. Half asleep, I opened my eyes to find Gu Biaju's sinister gaze looking down at me. He stood beside the bed, staring down at me, his face cold enough to crack ice. Sleeping well, are you? I jolted fully awake. Why you found out? The clothes were originally from my little brother. If you don't like it, I can make you another set. Gu Biaju looked even angrier. You don't want leftover fabric from someone else. And your sewing isn't that good anyway. Who wants it? Seeing that he was genuinely upset, I got up to pull his sleeve. Gulang, I didn't mean to upset you. Please don't be angry. All right? My blanket slipped, revealing the sleeveless nightgown I had made for myself. The next second, Gu Biaju went rigid, his gaze fixed on me, and his nose started bleeding again. He fumbled frantically in his chest, pulled out a handkerchief to wipe his face, and stammered, "Don't overthink it. I bled because you scared me, dressing so scantily trying to seduce me. What will you think of next?" I stared at him for a long moment, then said softly, "But that's still my handkerchief." Gu Biaju's face stiffened. I must have grabbed the wrong one. He tried to pull something else from his chest, but in his panic he ended up pulling out another of my undergarments, my sachet, and even one of my socks. I stared, speechless, looking up at him with helpless confusion, my lips parting slightly. "Gu Lang, do you like me?" He rushed into the bathroom and didn't come out again for half an hour. "I just like you." His voice was low and hoarse as he wrapped his arms around me from behind, his hands sliding beneath my clothes. "Chichi. Let's be real husband and wife, all right?" I stopped his wandering hand. "But what about miscue anger? And you said I'm bland as plain water from a common family. Not good enough for you." That was all nonsense. He lowered his head and pressed kisses along my neck, breathing hard. "I've never seen a woman more beautiful than you. And as for Q Inger, it's been 10 years. Who knows where she is? I should cherish the woman in front of me, don't you think?" His teeth grazed my ear, sending a shiver down my spine, and a soft moan escaped me before I could stop it. Gently,